Hello everyone and welcome to episode 18 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel using Pride FC. And the year 2002, as it's almost the end of 2002, we have the Championship Chaos 2 show as Pride 23 is right around the corner. And so, before we get obviously into the show, we do have some mail. This isn't a part of the mail for some reason, but we signed Nick Diaz. We put him in rings, so we have him on a dev contract. As then we have, Mark Coleman. Mark Coleman, he broke his nose during that fight, which he's recovered from, so that's good. Frank Mir joined the Minnesota Martial Arts Academy, and we signed him to a dev contract as well. I believe we actually might not have dropped him down. Hold on, let me check real quick. Because I was thinking about dropping him down. Yeah, he's still in Pride, so yeah, so we haven't dropped him down. We're going to keep him in Pride. He's 4-1. He's some... Obviously, it's Frank goddamn Mir, a actual... Probably as far as an American goes, one of the best American Jiu-Jitsu heavyweights of all time. Yeah, he's incredible on the ground, so that's huge for the heavyweight scene to kind of spice up a little bit. Mauricio Shogun Rua has been signed to Pride, so we have Murli Rua and Mauricio Rua. So that's huge. As obviously he's gonna be a big fucking deal. As Hideko Yoshida, Hideko Yoshida, a gold medalist, was in the I believe 92. Might have been 96. I want to say it's 96 because it's pretty close. Because 92 would be pretty far ways away. It was a gold medalist in Judokan. So a gold medalist in judo. Very big deal to have him signed. Obviously, he was part of very, I would say controversial, but also huge fights against Gracie. And in actual real life, we'll see what happens here. We might do that. We might have him face Gracie, who knows. But Josh Barnett left American Top Team and joined Team Quest. And then we signed Damian Maia to an actual dev contract. Yes, so he's the one who we actually signed. He was 3-0. He fights in Mecca and CW as well. So he's obviously Damian Maia is he'll be used pretty goddamn soon as part of the middleweight division. That's kind of where we're at as far as mail goes. I don't know why I didn't delete it, but here if I can delete this. As Championship Chaos 2, let's get it going here. As Vanderlei Silva, as Vanderlei Silva and Dan Henderson main event for the middleweight title. Jesus Christ, but it's the middleweight heavyweight title. The middleweight title, as we have Silva making his second defense of the Pride middleweight title. Obviously, if he's successful, he's going to set the new record for the belt to the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Silva's second, Henderson's fourth. Fifth time Vanderlei Silva's main evented a Pride show, which Henderson's done it 3 times now, as it'll be the 3rd time after this. As Silva has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents, the first time they have fought. Silva has 1 staff pick, the rest are with Dan Henderson. That's very interesting. We'll see what Dan Henderson can do, though, against Vanderlei Silva. In real life, he knocked Vanderlei Silva the fuck out. We'll see what happens here. As Frank Shamrock taking on Inouye. This is basically a #1 contendership for the Pride middleweight title. As they fought once before in the main event of the Vale Tudo Japan 1997 card, which Shamrock won by DQ. 2 of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Inson's ranked 8th. Shamrock's ranked 16th. They have both finished 3 of the... Shamrock submitted 3 of his last 5. Well, Inson always finished 3 of his last 5. The broadcast half pick, 6-1. Again, this time with Shamrock having the 6. And old Tom B, the lone supporter of Inouye beating Frank Shamrock. As the king of the streets, Marco Hoos, taking on Andre the Pitbull Arlovski. Arlovski's been on a fucking tear, to say the least. He's going to have significant weight advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. First time they fought, Arlovski's won all of his last 5 fights and has finished off all of his opponents. As Hoos is 9th and Arlovski's 15th. As Blurcat staff pick, again, one Marco Hoos, and Arlovski's got 6. As Pedro the Rock Hizzo versus the Smashing Machine, Mark Kerr. As both fighters are world-ranked super heavyweights, Hizzo's 7th, Kerr's 8th. Kerr trains at Lionsden, which Pedro Hizzo has a great record against Lionsden's guys, 3-0. Kerr hasn't won a fight since June of 2000. First time they have fought. Kerr is enjoying a significant weight advantage. And all the betting lines have Pedro Hizzo as a big favorite to win. Yeah, Mark Kerr, he's definitely taken a step back for sure. He's gotten his fucking ass kicked a lot. Gary Goodrich broke his jaw. Trying to think who else knocked him out very quickly in the fight. He's had a lot of bad luck. Going for him. But he's still pretty much, I want to say his name value is high national. Yes, it is. High level national. And just looking at the fight history real quick. Unanimous decision to Big Nog, Simi Shalette with the TKO. The Gary Goodrich knockout. So he hasn't won a fight since his poor performance against Carlos Barreto, which him and Ken Shamrock, the unanimous decision loss, really fucked him up. Because Mark Kerr was going on a tear. Was 11-0-1 thanks to the no contest going into the series. And now, standing at 12-4-1 no contest. We'll see what happens, though. As Murli taking on Chuck the Iceman Liddell. This is a fucking fantastic fight. As Liddell has finished 4 of his last 5. Both fighters are world-ranked light heavyweights. Liddell's 3rd. Hua is 24th. As Hua has won 4 of his last 5 by decisions. This is the first time they have fought. Liddell will likely have a significant weight advantage in this fight, as obviously they both weighed in the same, but I'm sure Liddell's going to put the weight back on just for this fight. And Liddell has a 9-inch reach advantage. That is fucking crazy. And he has the huge margin favorite in the betting odds. 7-0 the Blurcott staff picks. This is definitely Murlio's biggest challenge. And biggest is definitely a bit of an overstatement. 7-0 and having the huge betting lines as TK Tsuyoshi Kasaka has taken on the last Emperor, Fedor Emelianenko. Fedor trains at Red Devil Sport. Kasaka has an overall record of 1-2 against those other current members of that team. As TK has won 4 of his last 5 fights by decision, and he's ranked 10th in the heavyweight division, which Fedor is ranked 24th. First time they have fought, Fedor's got the 5-inch reach advantage. This is TK's Pride debut. Obviously, we got him from Rings once we bought Rings out. And he's big loss favorite as far as the Blurcast set picks. 7-0 Fedor. This is a big win for Fedor as well. If he wins this, he's definitely going to jump up into, hopefully, the top 10 of the Pride division. Probably just outside the top 10 of the Pride heavyweight division, but we'll see. As Iga Inouye taking on Masanori Suda. Suda submitted 3 of his last 5 opponents. Trains at the Takata Dojo, which Iga Inouye has an overall record of 1-0 against those other current members of that team. As Egan is now ranked 14th in the middleweight division, and Suda's ranked 15th, so pretty close there. This is Suda's Pride debut, and Egan Inouye, of course, has been in Pride before the series started. So that's why he's not making his Pride debut. He's making his Pride return, rather. As Egan is got the Blurcott staff pick 6-1. As Matt is the lone supporter of Masanori Suda. As I'm assuming this is in the prelims, Rodrigo Gracie versus Little Nog. As Little Nog's going to have a significant weight advantage, and he's got the large margin favorite. Rodrigo Gracie, if he loses, which he probably will, we'll probably send him down to Rings. It'll be a little bit more closer for him, because right now, every fight he's had, he's just gotten his fucking ass kicked. Because he's had, hasn't had a close fight. This plus 500, minus 630 for Little Nog here. He's 0-3. It just kind of makes sense. As first prelim fight, of course, as our referee, Big John McCarthy, as their judges, at least 30 pounds heavier than Gracie, which is going to be a major disadvantage for him. And here we go. Gracie backing off, hits a weak left hand, and an attempt to land a hook to the body from Nogueira fails to land. As Gracie tries to shoot in on Nogueira, but Nogueira partially defends it, ends up hopping on one foot while Gracie gets hold of the other one. Tries to drive him back up against the ropes, and now he's looking for a trip takedown. He does. A superb outside leg trip by Rodrigo Gracie. That was a great job. Now Nogueira's giving up his back, and now he's got both hooks in. He pounds away with right hands, but doesn't do much damage. As Nogueira trying to break him, but Rodrigo trying to get it off. Looking for a rear naked choke, but Nogueira defends himself well there. He maintains his hooks despite Nogueira trying to break him up. Again for the rear naked choke, and again doesn't allow it. As he's trying again to break the hooks, but they're too tight. As he's pounding away, but Nogueira calmly deals with him. Again, trying to pull free the hooks. He's pounding away with rights, but fails to land anything significant. He maintains his hooks despite Nogueira trying to break them. Gracie pounds away with rights, but doesn't do much damage. He keeps both hooks despite Nogueira trying to pull them apart. He fires off some rights, but Nogueira is in trouble by them. as Nogueira attempts to pull free of the hooks, but Gracie doesn't allow it. He fires off some rights, but Nogueira's in trouble by them, and again, he pounds away with rights, but doesn't do much damage. This has just been all Rodrigo Gracie. He's not going to be able to finish the fight, but he's definitely going to win by decision if it keeps up with the second round. Because he's not going to be able to... I'm surprised John McCarthy hasn't stood him back up. Again, he's firing with punches, and Nogueira just eats him. He's not doing any damage. Again, maintains the hooks. And again, Nogueira's in trouble by the right hands. And again, right hands, but Nogueira deals with him comfortably. More ground and pound that has nothing with any power behind him. Again, trying to break the hooks. Minute left in the first round, and they're still on the ground trying to break the hooks. This is Nogueira. 8 seconds now, and that's the end. Obviously, unanimous decision is going to be for Rodrigo Gracie. Let's see how many strikes he landed. He landed 78 jabs and didn't do any type of fucking... Man. Well, that's all Rodrigo Gracie, obviously, but we'll see what the second round gets. It's gonna... And Little Knox have to finish this fight if he's gonna win this fight, to be honest. That was all Rodrigo Gracie, the whole round. It's gonna be tough to really sway the voters. Sway the judges. As Gracie moves in and out of range, hoping to tempt his opponent into a reckless strike and leaving him opening to start grappling. He can't connect with the step strikes, and then it's a nice right hook to the ribs, rather, as Nogueira hits 2 left jabs and then scores with a right cross. As Gracie's starting to slow down a touch, perhaps conserving a little energy. Nogueira steps in looking to unleash. Gracie again shoots in for the takedown. He couldn't get it, but he has a hold of the one leg. He's probably looking to drive him back up against the ropes. He does so. Now he's looking for that trip takedown. He does so. As a quick inside leg trip now. Now he can do nothing but pull half guard. Gracie throws a few right hands to the body. Again, he's just to throw bodies. And Nogueira's looking to scramble. As, he sees the opportunity. That was Nogueira was too slow and gets caught in side control. And again, he's just going to keep him down. He's going to block the transitions. There's a few weak-looking punches. Try to decide the next move. He's not going to be able to get out of the guard. As Nogueira scoots around and wraps his legs around Gracie to pull guard. Gracie throws a few strikes, but clearly slowing things down. 26 seconds left in the fight, and Gracie just, again, now Nogueira's trying to sweep Gracie. He gets swept, but scrambles back to his feet to face Nogueira. And that's the end of the second round. Yeah. Rodrigo Gracie wins by unanimous decision. What an upset. There you go. He knew the pressure was on. He gets the win. Little Nog gets his first loss, and Rodrigo gets his first win. It's rated average. That's surprising. As we'll see what he does. Post-fight interview. Rodrigo Gracie thanks his sponsors and all his fans. Talking about causing such an upset, Rodrigo Gracie says that he's being labeled a heavy underdog, hurt his pride, and helps spur him on in this fight. That's nuts. What an upset win for Rodrigo Gracie. It's their second prelim fight. Egan Inouye battles Masanori Suda as 21-9 Masanori Suda, 12-8 Egan Inouye at 37 years old, 5'9", 185. As Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu versus Shuto style, Takata Dojo, Militich fighting system, minus 200, plus 150 for Egan Inouye there. Big John McCarthy staying out there for a ref or judges. As Egan looks significantly bigger than Suda as they prepare to the fight, even though they weighed exactly the same yesterday. Fight begins. Touch gloves. Seeing his opponent about to shoot in, Inouye timed it well and moved in to start a clinch. And looking for a sweep takedown? He does. And the inside leg trip sees Suda get thrown to the mat, and Inouye's left in guard. He starts looking to try to get past the guard. He passes guard, but Suda's ready and scramble position ensues. As the scramble sees Inouye up first, he's quick to wrestle Suda up against the ropes. And again, looking for a trip takedown. He does so. Outside leg trips, so 2 for 2 on takedowns. Masanori Suda, no chance to stop this. As he punches down on Suda, but they're easily taking on the gloves. He blocks Suda as he tries to sweep from the bottom. Tries to pound on Suda, but all the blows are coming dealt with. As again, he's trying to start a sweep from the bottom. He doesn't budge Inouye. Punches down on Suda. Again, they're taking on the gloves. Tries to transition to full guard, but he can't manage it. As in half guard now, Inouye begins working to get side control. Isn't able to get past from half guard thanks to the tenacious defense of Suda. So we're just kind of at a stalemate here. He's trying to sweep, but he doesn't allow it. Inouye trying to fires off a handful of punches, but each being blocked with gloves. Halfway into the first round, there you go. Big John McCarthy stands it back up. But again, Suda, this time though, looking for the takedown. As he stops the takedown with a great sprawl. As Suda's forced down onto his hands and knees. This is not good. He unloads with some big right hands, but Suda's able to deal with most of them. And looking to hit a knee strike, but Suda's back up too quickly. Gets in close and clinches with Suda. Looking for another trip takedown. As it doesn't work though. Suda defended it well. Again, looking for a trip takedown. And again, gets blocked by Suda. As it ends up being out-wrestled in the grapple. So now Suda's in control. Grappling doesn't go anywhere, but they break apart. And Suda comes in for the takedown. He does. He can't get... And Inouye can't stop the takedown and has to pull guard. As first successful takedown from 2 attempts from Masanori Suda there. And he throws a few right hands to the body. As he's looking to push Suda back with his legs, trying to scramble his Inouye. It's a bad choice, though, as Suda seizes the opportunity to leap forward to secure side control. He fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves. Final minute left in the round. And Suda attempts a Kimura. It's locked in tight. Inouye has his arm bent at a terrible angle. But no, Inouye manages to get his arm free. Clearly, the hold couldn't have been as tight as it looked. As Inouye still under side control, though, so the threat of more submissions attempts remains. As Inouye tries to move to guard, but Suda doesn't allow it. Suda unloads with right hands, but doesn't do a great deal of damage. As he blocks Inouye as he tries to transition to guard, and that's the end of the first round. That's a pretty close first round. Both guys, 2 for 4, 1 for 2, so 50% on takedowns. Egan had the more strikes. He had the more takedowns, so you could probably give it to Egan there, but it's still close. Masanori Suda could sway the judges in the second round. As that's the bell to start the second round. As aggressively moves in and grapples with Inouye. He tries to take him down. It's unsuccessful, though, so Egan stops at 1 for 3 on takedowns now for Masanori Suda. As he's looking to take him down again in the clinch, and he does so. And so now 2 for 4 on takedowns for Masanori Suda. As now Egan's on his back and he pulls half guard. In half guard, Suda catches his breath, can then just throw a couple of punches to the body. Egan works some separation, then tries to quickly scramble his way into a better position. He may regret that choice, as it gives Suda the perfect opportunity to get side control. Suda throws a few right hands to the body. Egan Inouye tries to move to guard, but Suda doesn't allow it. We move into the second half of the round. Suda punches down at Inouye, but they are easily taken on the gloves. Tries to transition that guard, but he can't manage it. Looking to catch his breath, Suda's content to just throw a couple of punches to the body. Inouye tries to move to guard, but Suda doesn't allow it. Looking to catch his breath, Suda's can then just a couple of punches to the body. And again, Egan tries to move guard, but Suda doesn't allow it. Taken on the gloves is the punches from Suda. 3 seconds left of the fight, and the Suda blocks Inouye as he tries to transition the guard. And that's the end of that round. So that round was Masanori Suda. So this is going to be probably a split decision. I'm going to go with Masanori Suda, to be honest. I think it wasn't so close the first round. I think he showed that he could win that fight. I'm going to give it to Masanori Suda. We'll see. And they all, oh wow, so it's unanimous decision. All 3 give it to Masanori Suda. He gets the win. As 22-9 for Masanori Suda, 12-9 for Egan Inouye. As Masanori Suda thanks everyone connected to the Takada Dojo for helping prepare for the fight. The sponsors for supporting him financially. He asked who he'd like to fight next. He answered that he thinks the fight against Carlos Newton would probably be a great contest. As TK going head-to-head with Fedor Emelianenko at 21-11-1. Fedor Emelianenko 4-0. He has the betting lines in his favor. A Sambo versus Judo fight. As our referee, our judges, as TK's fighting in front of his home crowd tonight, and he gives a big cheer when he makes his entrance. That's the opening bell. Fedor lands a jab and hits TK with a leg kick, and they're looking for a takedown. He does so. He completes the takedown. TK's on his back. He fires away the punches, but TK doesn't take any undue damage, and he's looking to get some type of sweep. Is TK, but Fedor blocks the sweep. Tries to pass the guard. He finds himself unable to pass guard in this attempt. As the TK moves to secure rubber guard, and but cannot, as Fedor is fighting it too hard. So both guys are kind of stuck in this position. As Fedor tries to pound on TK, but all our blows are completely dealt with. As TK moves to secure rubber guard, but again, he can't get it. He's trying to work past the guard. And it results in a scramble. So now TK's trying to get back up. As the scramble begins, TK sees that Fedor has a left leg in and quickly tries to seize it. Unable to get the leg, TK winds up on his back pulling guard. It's a big error for TK, going for the leg as it ended up having the advantage to his opponent. Now he's trying to pass guard. As, now he's in side control, is Fedor. He He keeps TK guessing with a few quick strikes. Tries to move the guard, but Fedor doesn't allow it. Halfway into the round, he attempts a Kimura. Does Fedor? And he gets it. He gets the Kimura, and TK taps out. Great win for Fedor. 5-0 now, as TK's 21-12-1. Great job. Great job by Fedor. As, again, he's gonna be on a fucking warpath. It just is what it is. Fedor, giving thanks to everyone, praised his team at Red Devil Sport and his various sponsors, the fans who came out to support him. He asks about the finish, and Fedor reveals that they have been working on that submission in particular during training, and he's happy that all of his hard work paid off. As now, Murli of Ninja Rua at 9-0 takes on Chuck the Iceman Liddell, as this is, betting lines here. Minus 830, plus 660. This is a big-ass fight for Murli at 5'11", 205. Chuck Liddell at 6'2" has a 9-inch reach advantage. He's probably going to be heavier than what Murli is. We'll see. Mario Yamasaki's our referee, our judges. Yeah, they weighed in both at 205, but it's obvious now that Liddell is much bigger. Underway. They touch gloves. Liddell throws a punch, but Rua avoids it. As Hua seizes the chances and grabs Liddell in the clinch. Using his wrestling skills, Hua is trying to push Liddell up against the ropes. Doesn't manage it, though, as Liddell defends it well. Liddell out-wrestles Hua and takes control of the grapple, and now is looking to wrestle Rua into the ground, but he can't get the Rua down on the ground for the takedown. And now Liddell's looking for a trip takedown. Again, Rua blocks it, so 0 for 2 now on takedowns for Chuck Liddell. He gets caught with a knee strike to the body as they grappled as Liddell, and again a big knee strike this time to the body. As another big knee strike to the body, as he's trying to push him up against the ropes now. He doesn't manage it, as Liddell defends it well. A nice knee strike again, this time to the side of the stomach of Liddell. Looking to muscle him up against the ropes. Again, Liddell doesn't allow it. As another knee strike to the body. Another, again, trying to muscle him up against the ropes. And now he does. He ends up his back against the rope. Looking for a sharp leg trip. He does. A great inside leg trip. Sees Liddell gets thrown to the mat. And Rua is left in half guard. As Rua keeps Liddell guessing with a few quick strikes. He blocks the attempted sweep. He pounds away, but Liddell calmly deals with him. He's trying to get some separation. Tries to start a scramble. As now this is giving Murli a perfect opportunity to get side control. But he's looking to get mount. He can get mount as Liddell rolls away, but he just gives up his back instead. Halfway into the first round, and Liddell has given up his back. This is bad news for the Iceman. Looking for the rear naked choke. Liddell stops the rear naked choke. Tries to turn over and sweep Rua, but he can't. Both hooks in now. He's really in a dominant position. Looking for a rear naked choke, and he gets it. Murli Ninja Rua is 10-0 and just tapped out the Iceman. Plus 660 on the betting lines. Jesus Christ, Murli is here to fucking fight. Jesus, 10-0. He's 10-0. He's taking out the Iceman. This is nuts. What a fight. What a performance by Murli. As well, what do we got to do? Do we have to just have him? Oh, he wants Alan Goes. That is a step down, in my opinion, from Chuck Liddell. Chuck has had a tough go of it here in Pride so far, 0-2. But Murli name checks everyone at Suda Box, his various sponsors, then all of his friends, his family supporters. The interviewer asks who he's interested in fighting next. He replies that Alan Goes would be a tough challenge, but one that he'd be interested in trying. I don't know if tough challenge is really what he's looking for, because that is an easy fight. I'd say so myself. As Pedro the Rock Hizzo taking on the Smashing Machine Mark Kerr. As, this is the night of fucking upsets here. Mario Yamasaki is our referee, our judges. Big size difference here, as Mark Kerr has at least 35 pounds on Pedro Hizzo. As we are underway, Hizzo lands a left hand that hits Kerr with a leg kick. As he's looking confident as Hizzo and he comes in closer. Appeared to be going to try to get in close, but Hizzo took the initiative first. He lands a jab and scores a right cross. Looking confident, shortening the range as he looks to strike. It looked like we were about to see Kerr try to get some grappling started, but Hizzo was more aggressive and took the initiative. He fails to find a home for his jab and lands a low kick to the legs. He clearly respects his opponent's striking skills, does Mark Kerr. He is very wary about getting close enough to grapple. As he fails to find home with his jab and lands a big right hand. Closes in on Kerr, looking to unleash some strikes. Kerr is able to, appear to be going to try to get in close, but Hizzo took the initiative first. He hits a left jab and hits Kerr with a beauty of a straight right. Kerr may have been aiming to get in close, but Hizzo aggressively took the initiative. Hizzo comes in with a flurry of 3 punches, landing all 3 of them, and then catches Kerr with a stunning right hook that may have broken his nose, as there's blood pouring down his face now, as a smashed nose going to force him to breathe through the mouth and will tire him out quicker. As now, and he's knocked down in the process as well, as he quickly pounces, looking to rain down on punches from the stun marker, and powerful shot after powerful shot. Referee Mario Masaki is going to have to jump in and save him, and he does so. As Pedro Hizzo is the victor by TKO, 12-3. Per marker is 12-5-1 now, and that was rated great. As now on to, as Pedro Hizzo, thanks everyone connected to, who has Valetudo for helping him prepare this fight and supporting him financially. As on to King of the Streets, Margo Oos, taking on Andre the Pitbull Arlovski, as pretty close as far as betting lines, plus 100, minus 120, 12-5-2 at 41 years old. As Arlovski is going to be bigger, he's taller, he's bigger in weight. The Sambo boxing background, the Valetudo, Rios Valetudo style. We'll see what happens. Mario Yamasaki, our referee. Our judges. We're underway. Arlovski rather obviously ignores the offer to touch gloves to begin with, as Rios backing off, hitting a weak left hand. He throws a punch, but Rios avoids it, as Arlovski rather moves forward, constantly trying to pressure Rios into exchanging strike, and now he moves into the pocket. As he can't hit the left jab, and then catches Rios with a stunning right hook, and then knocks him out. Rios is down and out, and Andre Arlovski wins again, 8-2 now, as a knockout win in a mere 30 seconds. Gets the win, 33 seconds to be exact, as that's a tough outing for Margo Oos, but it is what it is. Arlovski's on a fucking tear, as now he's name checks all of his sponsors, thanks to his fans who turned out to support him. Arlovski asked about the knockout. He says he managed to land the last punch perfectly and knows that he can always rely on his punching power, that is for sure. So the co-main event now for the middleweight number 1 contendership, as the Frank Shamrock goes head-to-head with Ensign and Inouye. We'll see if he has better luck than his brother did. As our referee, John McCarthy, our judges, as Ensign Inouye gets a loud ovation from the crowd. The opening bell. Ensign doesn't touch gloves, drawing some heat from the crowd, as he chooses to shoot in on Ensign. He can't complete the single leg, as he ends up standing a holding leg while Ensign hops in place. He can't get him down, so he pushes him up against the ropes, looking for the trip takedown. He gets the inside leg trip, as now Ensign is thrown to the mat, and Shamrock is left in guard. So there's a few strikes, but they're thrown without venom. He deflects a couple of punches that Ensign threw from below. He throws a few relatively weak-looking right hands. Does Frank Shamrock. He tries to sweep from the bottom, does Ensign, but he can't budge Shamrock. Looking to pass guard and get into side control. He struggles, but cannot find a way past. He remains stuck in guard. As Ensign tries to get double underhooks on Shamrock, so he can get some control, but he can't get them. Does a few strikes, but they're thrown without venom. Begins trying to pass the guard. As after a struggle, he gets the half guard at least, so he fires off a few punches as he catches his breath. Ensign uses the underhook to work some separation, then quickly scrambles. Shamrock's too quick, though. He grabs side control before Ensign can get up, and loads some big rights, but Ensign covers up well. Transition to guard, but he can't manage it. Fires off some rights, but Ensign again is in trouble by them. Tries to move to guard, but Shamrock doesn't allow it. Halfway into the round, Shamrock unloads with the big right hands, but Ensign is able to deal with most of them. He blocks an pull guard, throws a few right hands to the body, tries to move to guard, but Shamrock doesn't allow it. This has all been Frank Shamrock. Tries to move in the mount. He tries to get the mount, but Ensign was ready. He immediately starts to scramble, as Shamrock's up first and quickly grabs Ensign, pushing him back up against the ropes, and takes a hard foot stomp, does Ensign Inouye from Frank Shamrock. Another takedown, this time grabbing his opponent's legs and trying to take him to the ground. It's unsuccessful, though, as Ensign maintains a great base. He remains tracked up against the ropes, though, and looking for again, trying to drop down and get a hold of the legs of Ensign, remains standing on the other foot, leaning up against the ropes, as he can't get him down again, and as he pulls him back into a clinch up against the ropes, as again looking to take him down, and he does so this time, though, as Ensign pulls guard, as Shamrock fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves, as again he blocks the sweep from the bottom, and punches down on Ensign, but they're easily taking on the gloves. He tries to sweep him again, Shamrock doesn't budge, throws a few strikes, but they're thrown without venom, tries to sweep Shamrock, but he can't do it, tries to pound on Ensign, but they all are comfortably dealt with, He tries to catch Shamrock's punches, but it's not on target, and that's the end of the first round. You have to give that to Frank Shamrock. That was all Frank Shamrock there. So looking at the fight metrics, yeah, Ensign didn't throw a punch. He didn't do any takedowns. He was just all on the defense there. Not good. Maybe he can catch him in the second round, but it's looking like it's all Frank Shamrock. So here we go. Both fighters seem to have the same idea. They come together in a clinch as Shamrock wrestles his way in the dominant position in the clinch. And now look like they're trying to scoop him up and slam him. And there's a slam. Ensign is planted onto his back and pulls half guard. Attempts to pass half guard and gain better position. Ensign doesn't let Shamrock get his leg free, and so half guard remains in place. As Shamrock blocks Ensign, he tries to transition to full guard. He attempts to pass half guard. Ensign tries to counter the pass attempt, and then they find themselves scrambling for position. As they scramble, Shamrock sees an opportunity to drive, and dives for a leg, rather. But it drives as Ensign avoids the threat of a leg lock and ends up in half guard. That was a big tactical mistake from Shamrock by going for the leg as he left himself in a bad position. As Ensign throws a few right hands, he takes a moment to plan ahead. As Shamrock uses an underhook to work some separation and quickly starts to scramble. It's a bad choice, though. As Ensign seizes the opportunity and leaps forward and secures side control. Handful of punches, each easily being blocked. Inside control, Ensign catches his breath. Can just a couple of body shots. Throws a few strikes with or without venom. Blocks the attempt to pull half guard. Throws a few right hands as he takes a moment to plan ahead. And he blocks the attempt to pull guard, and that's the end of the fight. So that one was all Ensign. We'll see what happens here with this decision. It's tough. When you lose the first round, it's very tough to maintain a win, to try to win this second round. He tried it. We'll see what the judges think. I think they're still going to give it to Shamrock. We'll see. Yep, all three give it to Shamrock. Near decision win for Frank Shamrock, 25-9-2 now, as Ensign is 13-6. It's rated decent. So now the main event. Oh, it's we get the post-fight interview, though, as Shamrock thanks everyone connected to Alliance for helping prepare for this fight and the sponsors for supporting him financially. He says it was a tough fight and gives the show respect to Ensign Inouye that it was pretty close. As the main event, the Axe Murderer, Vanderlei Silva versus Dan Henderson, as it is fucking time for the main event for the Pride Middleweight title, rather. As 15-2 is Vanderlei Silva, 12-1 is Dan Henderson. Dan Henderson has the betting lines in his favor. It's a Muay Thai Greco-Roman wrestling background for Dan Henderson, Muay Thai background for Vanderlei Silva, of course. 26 years old, 5'11", 6 foot is our height and weight. As we'll see what fucking happens. Big John McCarthy, our referee. Our judges, as either though they weighed the same, Silva's looking a little bit heavier now as round one begins. Notable lack of usual touching of gloves to begin with. Yeah, these two are no fucking fans of each other. Two fighters engage. Silva feints an attack that leaves Henderson off balance. Henderson misses a big right hand, putting him off balance, allowing Silva to attack with a quick left jab and a left roundhouse kick to the body. Come together and strike. Silva dodges the right hand and counterattacks with a nice right hook. Vanderlei's in complete control so far. He steps forward looking to attack, moves into the pocket, throws a quick 1-2 but doesn't land either blow. As moving forward constantly, Silva's pressuring Henderson. He manages a counter jab. He can't connect with the jab and then lands a big right hand. He shoots in for the takedown. He gets the takedown. Silva's now on the bottom, pulls guard. Henderson pounds away, but Silva calmly deals with him. Fires away with punches, but Silva doesn't take any undue damage. Pounds away with rights, but again, doesn't do much damage. Fires off a few punches to Henderson. He keeps Silva guessing with a few quick strikes. Punches down at Silva, but they're easily taken on the gloves. Unloads some right hands, but Silva deals with them comfortably. Now he throws a few relatively weak-looking right hands, as Big John McCarthy stands back up from the lack of progress. As Silva can't connect with the set of strikes, but then lands a right hand. And Henderson, again, shoots in for the takedown. And again, he gets the takedown. 2 for 2 on takedowns for Dan Henderson. And Silva's going to pull guard as he pounds away with right hands, but fails to land anything significant. As for a moment, Henderson's content just throw a couple of punches to the body. That makes sense. He's just trying to get points in the scorecard for him. Keeps him guessing a few quick strikes. Halfway into the first round now. Throws a few weak-looking punches as he decides to select the move. Again, he pounds away with rights, but doesn't do much damage. And again, throwing a few right hands as he plans ahead. Strikes without any venom. And again, Big John McCarthy stands to back up. They come together and engage. Silva can't hit the right cross. Henderson tries the right hand, but gets absorbed on his opponent's gloves. And again, he throws a punch, but Henderson was equal to it. Both fighters come together and strike. Neither can manage to find the target in the exchange of strikes. That's tough. Silva doesn't find the mark with the right hook. Henderson can't catch Silva, whose good head movement allows him to slip away from a two-punch combination. He can't connect with a jab and then hits Henderson with a beauty of a straight right hand. He can't connect the setup strikes, but again, lands a nice, hard, straight right as he fails to find home on the jab and then lands the big right hand. He's not hitting the setup strikes, but he's always hitting the big finish of the combo, so that's huge for him. As he initiates a strike exchange, Henderson hits a jab in exchange. Silva lands a jab and then lands a right hand. He can't connect the setup strikes, but then catches Henderson with a crunching right hook. As Henderson, it looked like he was angling for the takedown attempt, he couldn't take the initiative. As comes in with a flurry of 5 quick punches, landing 4 of them, and he doesn't hit the leg kick to follow up to Vanderlei Silva. He lands a jab, and then hits a fast, high right kick to the side of the head. That is not good, and he is staggering now, looking dazed at Dan Henderson. That last blow has rocked him, and he's saved by the fucking bell. You have to give that to Vanderlei Silva, as he is in complete control now when they're standing. It's not close, but Dan Henderson is doing his job when he's taking him to the ground. But when it's standing, it's all Vanderlei Silva, and he was doing a lot of damage there. You know, those 64 jabs went on the ground. I'd say probably not even all of them. I'd say all 64 had no power behind them whatsoever. This has just been, as far as the power goes, as far as dealing with punches go, the damage done, it's been Vanderlei Silva. You have to give that to him. You have to give him that first round. We'll see what happens, though. It's 5 minutes left in the fight for our second round. Silva close to the distance, obviously looking to strike. Fails to find home his jab and then hits Henderson with the beauty of a straight right. Confident comes in closer. Throws a punch, but Henderson avoids it. Looking for a takedown is Dan Henderson, and he does. 3 for 3 on takedowns is Dan Henderson. Punches down at Silva. They're easily taking on the gloves. Throws a few right hands to the body. Few weak-looking punches. Decides his next move. Again, trying to just keep him guessing, throwing a couple punches. Then for a moment, Henderson's content just throw a couple of punches to the body. Halfway mark in the second round. Fires away with punches, but Silva doesn't do any undue damage. For a moment, Henderson's content just throw a couple of punches to the body as he pounds away with rights, but doesn't do much damage. Again, John McCarthy stands him back up. As Silva's starting to slow down a touch, perhaps conserving a low energy. They engage in the center. Henderson misses the right cross that leaves him open for a counter. Silva attacks with a left jab and a left kick to the body. Exchange of blows comes and goes without either fighter really landing anything significant. Final minute left in the fight. They engage in the center. Henderson misses a right hook and leaves himself wide open to be countered with a nice right hook. And they engage. Silva misses the big right hand and Henderson misses the big right hand and Silva counters with a left jab and a left low kick. And 2 fighters engage. He lands a left jab but has the right hand blocked to Dan Henderson as Silva scores the great right hook. That last punch hurt Henderson. He grins in response, but I don't think he's fooling anyone. And that's the end of the fight. Vanderlei Silva wins by unanimous decision is my guess. And that is correct. He defends his prime middleweight title for the second time. Vanderlei Silva 16-2. Dan Henderson 12-2. As that is rated decent. Wow. So now we get to see Frank Shamrock, Vanderlei Silva. Probably it will not happen at the Cold Fury show. Probably going to start at the 2003 show. As Vanderlei Silva checks everyone at Shoot the Box, all his various sponsors, and then his friends, family, supporters, with the prime middleweight title around his waist. He celebrates continuing his reign as champion. Great showing by Vanderlei Silva. A critical rating is just above 60. That's huge at 66. Commercial rating at 100. As a, big main event. The attendance, 22,000 people. As Frank Shamrock defeated Ensign. Murli defeated Chuck Liddell. That was a huge ass fucking win for Murli. I mean, he's now in the top. He, honestly, legitimately, he'll be probably 4th or 5th in the rankings of the middleweight division. So, he's going to be next in line, technically, after Frank Shamrock. If Frank Shamrock beats Vanderlei Silva, we might have Frank Shamrock versus Murli Ohua for the middleweight title. We'll see, though. As far as fight of the night's probably going to be Pedro Hizzo and Mark Kerr. Yep, KO was obviously Arlovski, and submission of the night was Murli with the rear naked choke over Chuck Liddell. So that was the only submission of the night. As plus 7 million. Great job by everybody. No one really, some people got knocked the fuck out early, as Marco Oos was, but we're growing still. We're now high level international. I believe that's as far as you can go in size. Trying to think what would be the easiest way to look at that. As I'm assuming that's as high as we can go. Let's see if we can look here. Should be fucking popular. There we go. So we'll just look at the limit. Yeah, so yeah, we're as high as we can fucking go. There's just, we're at the top of the mountain. That's where we're at right now. As far as that, we now have to renegotiate contracts. Rodrigo Gracie saved his job. Obviously, Murlio's gonna get, and yeah, everyone's gonna get re-signed there. So we'll be doing that off screen. As a couple of people. Yes. Yeah, we raised. We're at as high as we can go. Should make sense. Kerr with his broken nose. Alright, so after we get rid of all this shit here. Perfect. So we'll resign those contracts and whatnot. Thank you all for watching. As we'll catch you guys next week for Cold Fury 3, Pride 24. The main event, a heavyweight title fight. As Igor takes on Big Nog. That's going to be a hell of a fight. In that co-main event, we'll talk about a K1 kickboxing battle. Jerome Leibana versus Mirko Kokop. Tom Erickson, the Big Cat, taking on Kazuki Fujita. Bob Sapp, Gilbert Yvel. Carlos Newton Allen goes to the rematch. The fucking draw. Hopefully it's not a draw again. And Evan Tanner versus Yano. And the prelims, Ricardo Arono, Yuki Kondo, Young Choi. Mauricio Shogun, who are making his debut in the MMA world against Young Choi. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Exciting times for Pride. As we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everybody.